The Netflix original series The Haunting of Hill House is a loose interpretation of Shirley Jackson's classic horror novel of the same name, which was written back in 1959. Although the Netflix series borrows themes and elements from the novel, it's not a remake. The series follows the Crane family: Steve, Shirley, Theo, Nell, Luke, and parents Hugh and Olivia, who briefly lived in Hill House, a haunted mansion. The story follows the adult lives of the characters, who we learn have all experienced traumatic encounters with the supernatural in their childhood, as seen through flashbacks when they lived at Hill House. The show has been widely praised for breathing fresh life into the TV horror genre, but fans have mixed feelings about its episode 10 finale, which leaves many questions unanswered and some people wondering WTF just happened. So, let's dive into some of the theories. Warning, these do contain spoilers. Theory number 1, Hill House is evil and preys on the weak. Now, if you've seen the show, this theory may seem obvious. Hill House is very much a character of the show, with a mind of its own. Nell even reveals in the series finale that the house digests its inhabitants. Instead of having a heart, it has a stomach, and that stomach is the Red Room. We learn that the Red Room works sort of like the Hogwarts Room of Requirement, different for each person, and that every member of the family has spent time in it unknowingly, except for Hugh, who bursts in briefly to stop Olivia from murdering Nell and Luke with rat poison. This helps explain why Hugh was the last member of the Crane family to be haunted. Hill House doesn't feast on everyone, at least not right away. When the Cranes first move in, it's the children who are the first to see ghosts. Then Olivia, who's targeted as her mental state rapidly deteriorates and she begins experiencing frequent migraines and visions, a condition she had prior to living in Hill House. Hugh is the last to experience the supernatural. The Red Room doesn't even present itself to him until his final night in Hill House, when he's able to rescue Nell and Luke. Hill House, it seems, systematically targets and exploits the weaknesses of those who enter its doors, and those who stay long enough are haunted for life. Theory number 2, it's the black mold. In the last few episodes, we learn that Hill House has a major mold problem. Hugh discovers that black mold has infiltrated nearly every part of the house and highly suspects that its source is the Red Room. Now, there are many different types of black mold, but let's assume this mold is Stachybotrys chartarum, the worst type of black mold, and also linked to sick building syndrome. Yes, that's a real thing, and black mold is often the culprit, producing toxins that can wreak havoc on the body and mind. The theory goes that due to prolonged exposure to black mold, the Cranes slowly go crazy. But is this possible? The toxins produced by black mold have been linked to impaired mental abilities, causing symptoms such as confusion, brain fog, and hallucinations. In the show, we see a direct correlation between the presence of black mold and the increased hauntings in Hill House. But this still doesn't explain how the Cranes continued to see ghosts decades after leaving the house. So, what if the black mold is actually something else? After the localized thunderstorm that caused the upstairs windows to shatter, we see that mold has spread throughout the house, faster than should be possible. Instead of mold, this black stuff might be some type of other organism that infects the Cranes. This could help explain why they all continued seeing ghosts in their adult lives. Theory number 3, the ending never happened. The episode 10 finale really upset a lot of horror fans who wanted a scary ending. Instead, what we got was some kumbaya dinner with the siblings celebrating Luke's sobriety 2 years after escaping the Red Room. Oh, and the Dudleys dying in Hill House to live with their ghost daughter after pretending she never existed in the first place. Not cool. There's some compelling evidence to suggest that the Cranes never made it out of the Red Room and all died in Hill House. After being lured back and subjected to reliving their hallucination-induced traumas, Steve, Shirley, Theo, and Luke are rescued by their sister Nell, who monologues them to life while Hugh makes a death pact with Olivia in exchange for her to help him open the Red Room. The kids escape and folk music plays as the series undergoes a genre change. Wouldn't it be great if there was a red door just lurking in the background of the last scenes? The director, Mike Flanagan, actually toyed with this idea, admitting that the sinister ending we were expecting was discarded in favor of something less cruel. On to our fourth and final theory. Hill House bends space and time. Remember when Nell had her Burning Man moment and talked about time being confetti? After all, she did watch herself die her whole life as she was somehow transported through time as the Bent Neck Lady. The finale introduces the idea of Hill House not only representing death, but also life, some sort of twisted, happy-go-haunted purgatory where souls can be united forever. We see Olivia longing for her family to get woke with her, and the Dudleys returning to be with their daughter Abigail. Hill House, it seems, can make dreams come true. The Red Room changes to fulfill the desires of its inhabitants, almost like a portal to another dimension. The fact that the house psychologically abuses its guests into allowing themselves to be consumed makes it all the more terrifying. What are your thoughts and theories of Hill House and the Red Room? Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below.